Rogue waves are an infrequent phenomenon that occurs when the sea is at its most ferocious. Though rare, their prowess should never be underestimated. When you also meet a rogue person, their impact is always going to be felt. Rogue waves do not exist at the sea alone. They exist in business. In today's business landscape rife with economic, sociopolitical, and technological shifts, it's easy for a company to feel like a ship lost at sea. When a rogue wave rises, however, that is, an event that dramatically changes the way we do business. For example, the effects of a pandemic and so on. Business people are not deep-sea fishers. No, they face rogue waves in their very own industries every day. And if their organizations aren't prepared, these teams risk sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Many organizations fail because they do not prepare sufficiently for rogue waves in difficult times. Just like rogue waves ravage the ocean, business disruptions come out of nowhere. But they're not the result of random, external forces. They're often caused by a series of compounding social, economic, and technological undercurrents that no one sees coming. Luckily, for experts who study ocean behavior, rogue waves are increasingly forecastable, and with practice, business leaders can predict them too. Take the pandemic of the coronavirus. For instance, the swift arrival of the pandemic had a profound impact on the business world. Some businesses disappeared overnight, unable to adapt to the demands of a new environment. Others became overnight sensations, capitalizing on market changes and seizing their opportunity to grow. The signs of the pandemic were there, but some companies chose to ignore them. To survive storms, it is important to be agile and resilient. Knowing sooner or later that a rogue wave can come prepares you for the possible damages it eventually comes. When building a business, instead of believing the business is unsinkable, know that it's likely to sink at some point. Then search for ways to make it more resilient by thinking about what you would do if something were to go wrong. There are several ways to do this. A company needs to evaluate every possible risk, opportunity, and perspective of its business. They need to consider all possible outcomes, both intended and unintended. It is important to seek out as many perspectives as possible, painting a comprehensive picture of potential risks, and identifying opportunities for proactive innovation. Allowing yourself to learn different perspectives allows you to be able to identify strengths and weaknesses in different systems so that you can create a more efficient system that would resist rogue waves. Using risk modeling, companies can predict the probability and severity of a future event and make modifications to mitigating it. We can learn from Amazon. When COVID-19 crippled other e-commerce sites, Amazon was able to meet heightened demand by smoothly increasing its capacity. By doing so, they were able to emerge as one of the biggest winners in the year 2020. When the COVID-19 virus struck, Amazon was prepared with an emergency hiring plan. Within 90 days, the company had hired 175,000 people, allowing it to meet increased demand. But this wasn't a plan the company came up with on the fly. It was something that had been developed well in advance of the virus. Amazon doesn't use spreadsheets to manage its inventory. Every tool they have is built around artificial intelligence, machine learning, and simulation models. They run thousands of simulations every day with these models to figure out what will happen in the future. As a result of this planning, Amazon did not feel the effect of the pandemic. So take risks. To make your company as resilient as possible, you need to instill a culture of constant innovation. Many companies resist experimentation for fear of losing money on projects that don't pan out. But inaction can be costly, too. With many experiments, even a small investment can have an outsized payoff. Continuous innovation is essential for long-term performance. The more an organization experiments, the better chance it has to create something that will stand the test of time.